when a hyena wants to eat its own children, it first accuses them of smelling like goats. When it wants to eat its own children, it first accuses them of smelling like goats.
The hyena's belly is never full.
The president has been on the offensive against the judiciary, accusing law courts of ruling against his projects and sabotaging his agenda.
Jana wakizi mko na kazi. Kila mtu ako na kazi. Si lazima tupange ajira. So yule mtu ambaye anaenda kotini ati anataka kuzuia ati tusijenga manyumba hawa vijana wapate ajira. Ati tusifanye ile kazi yote ndio Kenya tubadilishe. Hawa ni watu ambao ni maadui wa taifa letu la Kenya.
The president is currently accusing the judiciary of being corrupt and being the reason why he's not delivering to his mandate. But when you look at this situation, you'll come to a realization that this is the man who swore to uphold the constitution.
I, William Samoei Ruto, swear.
And this is the same man who said he will obey court orders and have independent judiciary, unlike his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta.
To consolidate the place of the judiciary in our constitutional and democratic dispensation, my administration will respect judicial decisions. Our judiciary has demonstrated transparency in its proceedings and decision.
You'll also realize that this is the same guy who celebrated whenever the judiciary ruled in his favor and against his predecessor, the BBI.
Musitishwe! Leteni tuende kwa referendum. We are the majority. We are the people. We are there. We will get it. Usubuhi saina itakuwa imepita. Musitishwe!
The judiciary ruled in favor of who? William Ruto's side. And that time he was being sidelined by the former president Uhuru Kenyatta from government. And he was very happy about it.
And we want to tell our friends, the handshake brothers, walikuwa wanaturingia ati nobody can stop reggae. Now that it is confirmed by the Supreme Court, reggae imekwama haijakwama. Reggae imefika tamati haijafika. Imefika mwisho haijafika.
Then you wonder, what has really changed to a point where William Ruto is now at war with the judiciary, which was once on his side? Now, let me tell you, the president currently is misleading Kenyans. And there's no court here in Kenya that has stopped him from building those affordable houses, right? He can build as many houses as he can. He can employ as many youths and as many Kenyans as he can to those sites. And he's free to sell those houses that he will build to anyone at a profit. You understand? The issue that is in court is not about building the houses. It's about Kenyans being taxed to build those houses. Then the government selling those houses. Understand? Even on the issue of taxation, right? No court has stopped the president from going on with taxation. In fact, there's no judge who will be bribed to stop the president from taxing Kenyans. And it's not very personal. All the judges said is that it's unconstitutional, it's illegal, it's null and void for him to proceed with those doings to do with housing levy. Once a judge has declared anything unconstitutional, he moves on with other things. And that's very true. You'll not go to State House and tell the president you need to obey or you need to disregard these orders. And by the way, the orders are never directed directly to the president. The orders against the government are usually directed to the Attorney General, not the president. And I wish that the Attorney General could be a man who could stand up and come and clear the air. He's the one who is best suited to talk about this. And I don't even know if he's there. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if he's afraid of him. I don't know. And now, William Ruto and very many other Kenyans have read the constitution and we know much about economic rights. The issue in the court was strictly about taxing Kenyans. If you follow Omutata, you will know what really is going on. The president should not be telling Kenyans that their courts have no right to decide whether they are legally or illegally being taxed. The president is misleading Kenyans. You know, he's been seen everywhere saying that the courts have now pronounced themselves that they don't want him to have Kenyans employed. They don't want him to build the affordable housing. They don't want him to go on with his manifesto, which he promised Kenyans. But did you promise Kenyans that you're coming into power to tax everything that they have? There have been even laws that have been passed by the legislature that there are certain crops that you will have to obtain a license from government before you plant them. Things that have never ever existed before. For example, you've been planting napier grass for a very long time in the village. There is almost an acre of land full of napier grass. But now it will be the government to decide whether you need to plant that napier grass or not. And it suits government, William Ruto's government. And so when you see these cases piling up in court against the government, there is something that is happening that has never happened before, all right? And it's breeding the ground for the president to be impeached. I want to thank very powerful people like Okiya Omutata. That guy is really trying to do what he can do to salvage Kenyans from what they are suffering from. He was told that, I was given a sword, and this sword will deal with you. To mean he can kill Omutata.
Those remarks had two issues that got me concerned. The first issue was that the president was threatening violence against that group, and the kind of violence that exterminates, was threatening to kill people by saying he's going to slash them. And the second thing is that he deliberately dehumanized the people who went to court by calling them crooks. And that particular thing irked me.
So what makes you think that the president is doing something good towards you? And why should he take your land, take your taxes, build houses using your taxes, then sell it back to you? So who is stealing from who?
It makes so much sense now.
Now, if you're here for the first time, you're watching this channel for the first time, or you're watching me for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. If you're watching this from a different platform other than YouTube, please head over to YouTube and search for Manu Sosi. I'll be the first one to pop up, so you can subscribe to this channel as well.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.